Welcome back to the Dragon Den. My loyal Dragon Knights. King of Dragons 5000 is back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman and Robin, Mr. Freeze. So after getting Poison Ivy, Batgirl, Batman, and Robin, you can finally assemble Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze does come with two different accessories, being his Ice Cannon as well as an Ice Effect Blast. Other than that, Mr. Freeze doesn't come with any other accessories, so with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at his details. And so here we have a closer look at Mr. Freeze, and McFarlane Toys has done a really good job capturing the look of Mr. Freeze from the Batman and Robin movie. His armor looks fantastic, and it is molded in this really nice silver color. Taking a look at his head sculpt, Mr. Freeze is wearing his helmet that we saw in the movie. Just like with all the other figures, the likeness is a soft likeness to Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I think it's the best out of the line. Captured perfectly in this figure are the bloodshot eyes that Mr. Freeze had in the movie. And then his helmet does a good job incorporating his head, and I love the fact that they use translucent plastic here. Besides the translucent plastic, they actually painted some silver accents on his helmet, and everything looks really good with details. Taking a look at Mr. Freeze's outfit, he is wearing this really bulky ice suit, and it looks really good here. In terms of detail, it's a very detailed armor, and I love the fact that you can see all the rivets and all the detailing here in his armor. The blue glowing parts are painted in this really flat blue, which is a little bit unfortunate. A little bit of shading here would have gone a long way. And unfortunately, he is cast in this marbleized silver, so you will see some of those swirls and twirls in the plastic. It is quite noticeable on the back of the armor, however the detailing on it is still superb. On his arms you can see Mr. Freeze's undersuit, which is sculpted really nicely. And then we do get some armor bits on his bicep, which once again we have that flat blue paint here. And then he does have asymmetrical gauntlets, which look really good. The sculpt work here is superb for McFarlane. And his big bulky gloves look really good here, with a trigger finger on his right hand and a grasping hand on his left hand. The codpiece is done nicely, and you can still see all that riveted detail here on his outfit. And just like with his arms, you can see his undersuit, which is sculpted nicely. However, it's not painted like it was in the movie. His thigh armor continues that riveted detailing, which looks really good here, and I love the fact that you can still see some of the blue on his legs. The paneling on his leg armor is still really good, and you can see all the impressive details that were sculpted into it. Going down to his shins, you can see McFarlane has done a really good job with his big, massive boots. On both sides of his calves, you can see that they implemented that blue glow, which again should have had some shading into it. It's still a solid sculpt, and all the detailing with the rivets and the silver plastic do a really good job bringing out all that fantastic detail. And then of course he does have massive feet, which look really good, and the armor still continues down to his feet. And being a snowsuit, you can see he has some really big treads on the bottom of his soles. Mr. Freeze has some superb detailing both in the likeness to Arnold Schwarzenegger and the detailing on his armor. So with his details out of the way, let's get Mr. Freeze compared to our usual suspects. Here we have Mr. Freeze posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and DC Multiverse Superman, Mattel's WWE Elite Series and Mezco's 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man, the Lightning Collection White Ranger, and the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally we have Mr. Freeze posed next to the rest of the McFarlane Batman and Robin wave. So as you can see, Mr. Freeze is bigger and bulkier than the rest of the cast, which is quite accurate to the movie. With his comparisons out of the way, let's have a look at Mr. Freeze's articulation. Mr. Freeze has a double ball joint in the head, ball sockets in his shoulders, arms go out to the side, and dual full 360. He has a swivel hinge in his elbow, a ball hinge in his wrists. Mr. Freeze has a ball joint in the upper torso and a ball joint in his lower torso. His legs do kick forward, go back, out to the side, and no thigh swivel. He has a single bend in the knee. He has a swivel in the boot, a hinge in the ankle, and finally a toe hinge. So Mr. Freeze will have somewhat limited articulation due to the sculpt work in his bulky armor. Despite the bulkiness in his armor, you can still get Mr. Freeze to strike some decent poses. So with everything said and done about the DC Multiverse Mr. Freeze, let's get him posed for my final thoughts. Mr. Freeze here is done really well, and McFarlane Toys has knocked it out of the park with this Build-A-Figure. In terms of sculpt work, Mr. Freeze is solid, and I love everything that McFarlane Toys has done here. It is rather impressive how much detail they were able to put into his armor. It's one of the better sculpts McFarlane has done. The head sculpt is also done really nicely, as it does bear a strong likeness to Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I do like the fact that despite being a Build-A-Figure, he does come with some exclusive accessories, which is pretty good. The main downside to Mr. Freeze is that he is lacking in a lot of paint. McFarlane Toys has opted to use the marbleized plastic here on Mr. Freeze, which does look good from a distance. However, it's not quite accurate to the movie, as the only silver parts on his suit were his armor bits. It was a nice attempt for the blue paint to simulate that glow, however it's just a flat blue and could have done with a lot of shading. Add to it, the undersuit should be painted in this grey color, and that's a missed opportunity here by McFarlane Toys. But Mr. Freeze is still a fun figure to mess around with, and I'm actually liking what they did here. The one major drawback to Mr. Freeze is that he is the Build-A-Figure, so in order to have him completed, you do have to purchase Batgirl, Poison Ivy, Robin, and Batman. The wave as a whole is excellent, and I really like this Batman and Robin wave, and if you're a fan of the movie, you're definitely going to want to check out all these figures. At the time I'm making this video, the Batman and Robin wave is starting to hit stores, so be on the lookout at your local Walmarts, Targets, or check out Amazon or other online retailers. Each figure is going to cost about $25, which is pretty standard by McFarlane. And the end result is still a really solid figure, so I really do recommend this entire wave. So with that being said, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other DC Multiverse videos. If you're in a position to help out the Dragon Den, check out my Patreon where I have some exclusive content and some early access videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my fellow Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm KingofDragons 5000 reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.